Hey everybody, welcome back to Divinity Original Sin. We need to go to the end of time, as we have freed the White Witch finally. Woohoo! We did it! Took us a lot of time, but we got there finally. Which means now we gotta talk to everybody. Let's actually first... Which way is which? The Hall of Secrets, Hall of Frost, Hall of Flames, Inner Chamber. Yeah, I want to go to the Inner Chamber. So that way we can get some rest. We need to fix our shit up. Oh shoot, we got the whole crew. We got a whole crew over there now. We got the Weaver, we got Zigzags, we got the White Witch, and we got our yeah, we got our
Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, sire. I'll embroider it.
Bro, we got the whole squad sitting there ready for us as if they're like ready for a Jedi Council meeting or something. Alright, well first, like I said, we're gonna rest up. Because at the very least, Wolgruff and Beardaughter need to rest. Okay, get up, Wolgruff. Beardaughter.
I needed that.
I know. Alright. That's why I'm kind of mad we don't currently have any, like, I don't think we have a sleeping bag in our inventory to, like, carry around with us and use. I think that is a thing in Original Sin 2 that you can do. Original Sin 1, I don't have that. But Original Sin 2, I'm pretty sure you can just carry a fucking bag, sleeping bag everywhere, and boom, you're good. Like, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's get a move on. Actually, no, I do want to go to the shops because I need to. Hoping if I pay them, we can repair our gear.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your
Damn,
quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness.
Well,
Off to
thanks anyways. Okay, we'll have to go to shop when we get back to the current present day. Alright, they want to talk to us though.
You flatter me, my lady, but yes, I quite like to weave between two planes of existence, bound by mind and soul. There is a grandeur to it, if a humble one.
And trust me, dear lady, that grandeur humbles rather quickly when you see him groom himself.
Okay, talk to Icara.
Why, I see Master Zigzags has upgraded from his shabby little hut at the edge of the hour, from the fairy dimension to the, space-time Weaver Hunter Imp one. What do you call this place again?
This is our homestead, on the shelter plane at the end of time.
Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, suddenly your association with Master Zigzags makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such allies.
Well, let's start from the beginning. How is your sister involved with the dire happenings around Rivellon?
I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called dark magicians by the dozens. Our Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source, but our parents were determined to curb the power within us. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters.
Then it's true. You are a sorcerer.
I am, but there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning, an exquisite current of great power. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences.
Oh, you mean like Brachus Rax? Well, what consequences do you mean?
Tell me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle, that we could be simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter? No, I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion.
You mean to blame Leandra's doings on we source hunters?
No, that would be going too far and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was I who sparked all of this.
So you mean someone of your own order killed your parents?
They came
of our own
in
order.
quiet morning. My mother was wild with fright and commanded me to hide myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. Even at that young age, we knew not to question her. We climbed high into the branches of a nearby tree, and before we could look away, our parents were cut down without ceremony before our door. The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done.
What became of Leandra and yourself?
From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. Our souls became forged together, our bond unbreakable. We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of us were to die, the other would instantly perish too. We kept one another close. Leandra's capacity was enormous. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast outgrew my admonitions.
Also, the fact that if one dies, the other does explains why Leandra was made a deal to have you frozen. Because you're not dead, therefore she's not dead. Well, tell me what happened between yourself, Leandra, and the wizard.
My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence, witches among the trees when Zandalor came. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. Their days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandalor and I would settle into our quiet tasks, side by side. We were a content trio, the 3 of us, but base impulse would undo us.
I have a feeling I know, but I'm gonna ask anyways. What do you mean by base impulse?
As you know, Leandra and I were soul-forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandalor, and she knew I had too.
I figured.
But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart, as they had mine. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled, without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day.
Is there no redeeming your sister?
I believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow she truly believes will never end. What she needs is a hand, my hand, out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction.
Well, let's discuss the soul forge between you and Leandra.
I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe Leandra is adrift in the not at all inconsiderable sorrows of our lives. What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, and it consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this force might be, but I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on.
If I were to take a guess, probably the void?
If I could only repair the forge, I'm certain she'd put a stop to this madness.
Alright, well, what's next? How do we stop Leandra?
We've a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her. But first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called Immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute, but we must discover exactly what Leandra is planning and why.
What can you tell me about infiltrating the mines?
A soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings, the pangs of her deepest felt emotions, and flashes of her triumphs. One vision. I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting materials, precisely what, I cannot say, and is hard at work shaping them into something sinister. Her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning.
Well, let's talk about the mines.
The way may be treacherous, but you must get inside. I fear my sister is doing something dreadful so far from the light of day.
Alright, I take my leave.
You and Zandalor have always been close, Ahu. Pray tell, did you know anything about his affair at the King Crab?
Come now. Do you really think he'd let me in on it in advance if he'd been planning an affair with your sister?
How can I tell? Maybe you taught him a thing or two about slinking around in between shadows.
Oh!
If that were true, Icara, he wouldn't have been murdered, resurrected, and pursued by the bringer of the apocalypse as a result, now would he?
Oh!
True enough.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Well, hey, we gotta confront you about something, buddy. I've learned about the relationship between Zandalor and the Witch Sisters. You told me you had no idea who the stranger in the inn could have been.
Yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalor is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all. And I didn't know how Source Hunters would react to my association with such a colorful character.
Alright. Hey, Zigzags, what do you got for us?
Good to see you on the shelter plane. A home away from home, is it not?
Well, I'd like to update you on my progress. I've seen Leandra at work in Hyberheim. She is using star stones to turn them into bloodstones.
Of all the wicked things, the one substance that can stand in the way of the void, and she's turning it into vessels of blight. You'll have to redouble your efforts, my friend. You'll have to find more starstones before she does and forestall her insidious distortions.
How might I serve our mission?
We'll tell the Weaver of Time as well, the same thing.
Leandra. She desires to be Mother of the Void, but you have the power to undo her born-in-blood litter. Though they be baptized in blood, you can cleanse the starstones still, and use them to thwart their grim queen.
We can do that? Oh shit! Good to know. Do we have any?
How did you find Hyberheim this time of year, dear Icara? Still, one can't help but wonder where the gods have run off to in all this. The void won't spare them, you know. There's no hiding from the great nothing.
Okay, well let's... I believe they're in the Hall of Heroes. I want to talk to our other companions, kind of catch up with them.
Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do for you? Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh? It's no coincidence the Order retired me, or tried to anyhow, to such an aptly named little town. Way back when, the settlement was chartered as a stronghold for source hunters to keep watch over the borders of the Phantom Forest. Don't let the name fool you, though. These days, the forest is little more than a smattering of trees and ruins. A perfect posting for an old bull and her dotage like yours truly. In the days of old, though, the forest played host to source devils of every make and kind. Hunter's Edge was a settlement of source hunters tasked with watching over the border of the forest and putting down anything smacking a source that might creep out of it. By now, it's been centuries since anything more dangerous than a badger has come out of those woods. By and by, the source hunters moved out and regular folks set up shop. But the town's charter requires that at least one of our kind remain to keep the watch.
The degenerates here claim they have been cleansed, but I can still smell the stink of persisting putrescence wafting from their grimy flesh. Silver Glen, this place sickens me.
I see no evidence of sickness about me. Why take it to heart so?
I can tell you if you wish, but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life. Because my future, such as it is rooted deeply into my history.
Well, tell me about your history, Jahan, if you please.
By all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale.
Why don't you start at the beginning?
Once upon a time, I was a king in a land of beauty to the east. A land of tigers and slender towers, of deserts and forests, of sun and all the world's wealth. I was a young king, handsome and all-powerful. Every nobleman would have killed his own brother if I promised to take his daughter's hand in marriage. But I refused their incessant implorations. I knew my life as a sovereign would be self-indulgent, but also a self-delusory one, if I weren't to marry for love. And so a handful of years went by. The king's throne I myself occupied, whereas the Queen's throne remained empty but for the court's cats that would nap the afternoons away upon its velvet cushions. But then one day, a young woman visited my kingdom. She was a poetess and a storyteller. People flocked to her, listened to her every word as if receiving mantras from the divines. I invited her to my palace, and soon our days, our nights, our love and our lives intertwined.
Tell me more about your lover.
Icara. How I miss her still. Miss the brilliance of her mind that was both as sparkling and as unbreakable as the diamonds that adorned her body. Oh, and how I miss her body. 1,000 artists I could have commanded, show me beauty. But she would have effortlessly surpassed their every endeavor, and curving her lips into a smile, make them break their sculptures in tearful impotence. And yet, true happiness, that commodity more precious and even more fleeting than the dominion of kings, sang to us like the nightingale, only to depart come the dawn of our first year's unity. A malady overtook me, and I began to wither.
Tell me about the malady that overtook you.
It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside. They traveled from realms across the seas, hoping to cure the mighty Jehan, undo the gloom that had befallen the land, and mere vultures that they were, to be paid handsomely for their efforts. But none of their potions took effect. Their salves seared, but did not soothe my fading flesh. Like a ghoul I looked, unburied yet risen from the grave. In futile anger I struck my mirror, but broke my brittle fingers only, not its ever-mocking surface.
Please tell me how you managed to cure yourself from the malady that afflicted you.
It went like this, Hunter. If a ghoul I had become, so a dark turn of thought convinced me, a ghoul's methods I should employ to escape the labyrinthian crypt of corporeal corruption. A necromancer I'd be. Yes, only from deep within the deliriums of death would I tunnel my way back into the gardens of life. I did unspeakable things in the dusky dungeons that twist like forgotten veins to long-deceased organs far beneath my castle's sunlit halls. Halls which held my throne and held the bed upon which Icara slept, her very touch blessing the satin she reposed upon. Still there came no relief. Perversions I created in scores, but they were mere undead all. Creatures so piteous that the thought of cheating death in their guise frightened me more than the swing of the scythe itself. Like mosquitoes in the night, panic and despair beset me until I turned to that darkest of all arts, demonology. It had to be. There was no other way. I could feel the life slipping out of me like love out of a betrayed spouse's heart. So I studied tomes so old the dust that fell from their centuries' unperused pages never knew the light of the stars that now shine. I drew forbidden symbols. I spoke unhallowed words, and from the smoke that rose like a dragon's last breath, a demon appeared to me and said, "Ask, O blighted king, and you shall have." "Just tell me," I cried, "tell me what ails me." Icara. Never had I known a single word can cut deeper than the sharpest of daggers. With maddening glee, the demon told me she was one of his kin. A soul-swallowing horror that had been feeding on both my body and my spirit like a leech. An ancient being was she, that moved from king to king throughout the ages, filling their hearts with love, then draining them of life. After such revelations, does one truly desire to live on? Death seemed like a mother then, welcoming me with her all will be well embrace. Yet still I feared exceedingly her seemingly sweet caress, and the oblivion that would follow. Release me from her, demon, and give me back the strength of a sick, free existence. So went my desperate plea. It smiled, of course it did. Smiled bare 100 razors as its eyes came alight with infernal fire. 1,000 years I will give you, it whispered. But then your soul shall be mine to incarcerate in the depths of hellish nemesis. As for your throne, that I'll have now. What say you, O brittle king? Do you accept my terms?
So tell me, Jahan, did you accept the demon's terms? I assume he did.
I think you know the answer to that question, Hunter. But I've said enough for now. These memories are painful to recollect, so let us turn to the rest of them later.
Tell me more about your history, Jahan, if you please.
By all means, if you're in the mood for such a dark tale.
Oh, well, never mind.
Good. No use in standing about.
Alright. Oh, yeah.
Well, well, well. So our very own demon hunter once dabbled in the so-called darkest of arts himself.
A man so utterly betrayed and dying will grasp at any straw. I can hardly blame him.
Neither can I. Clearly, his great love was almost the very death of him. She broke his heart in more ways than one, and I too would go to any length to repair it.
With that, let's go ahead and go back to Hyberheim's turn. Well, no. Silver Glen, finally. Yeah. We're done with Hyberheim. Thank God. Finally.
Beware of the lost ones out there, Wanderer. Their blood is impure.
And we're gonna go ahead and repair our gear. Finally. Hopefully.
Hello again, or do a salutoin, as we say in our homeland.
Yay. Alright. And we got some new gear identified as well. Basically just setting ourselves up for the next time, because we're going straight to the mines, I think. Well, we gotta find them, but we're gonna go there next. We actually are out of time, so let's see, where do we gotta go to get? That's the mine entrance, so we gotta get across that bridge. Yep, Troll Cave entrance over there. Made it to the Goblin Village? I don't think so. Trial dungeon entrance. I think we've made the goblin. No. Okay. Well, we'll figure that all out next time. So, thank you all for watching. If you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord, also linked down below, so you can become part of our community. I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.